All right, today we have a question from MDLG 1983, a single mom. She says she has zero assets. She's been unemployed for 10 of the last 15 months. She got a job, and then the Doge cuts cost her that job. She owes the IRS about $80,000. What should she do? Will she qualify for a resolution? She made this comment on the PPIA video. Will she qualify for a partial payment installment agreement? She's a single mom, will be homeless soon, literally no disposable income, and $250,000 in student loan debt. Wow, MDLG, I really, I feel for you. This is a tough spot to be in, especially as a single parent. So would you qualify for a PPIA? I mean, you would very likely right now qualify for at least currently non-collectible status, okay? At least, right? Where the IRS, you're basically saying, look, I can't afford to pay you IRS and still put a roof over myself and my kids' heads and food on the table, okay? I think that's a given for your situation. Now, if you, let's say you got a sweet job though, right? In the near future, and you're making a lot of money. The IRS may then come and say, hey, we kind of cut you this deal, CNC status, a while back, but now it looks like you're making more money. We think you may have the means to pay. You have to talk to us again. The IRS is going to want to revisit that situation, okay? You may even qualify for an offer right now, okay? An offer and compromise. This is very facts and circumstances dependent. And the reason for that is if you're unemployed right now, the offer, and you submit an offer and compromise, right? Based on 0, 0, 0, 0. I have nothing. You submit a $100 offer or something based on that. A smart offer examiner is going to come back and say, well, yeah, you're not making any money now, but you're probably going to return to work at some point before the collection statute on the debt drops off. We're probably going to reject this offer and just put you into CNC status in the first place, okay? So what can people do to kind of get around that? Well, one thing you can do if you want to go for an offer is go get a job. It might not be the dream job, right? Like maybe it sounded like you had a government job. It might not be that cushy government job with benefits, but at least it's something. So you can say you can still say that, hey, I'm working. Yeah, I've returned to work, and I'm working now, and here's my net disposable income, and I have no assets, and you could calculate your offer and compromise based on that. That might be worth a shot, okay? It really does depend on when this tax debt drops off, when the collection statute expiration date is, because the IRS still with that goes to look at your disposable income and say, well, we would get more in a PPIA than in an offer, okay? But at the very least, just with your circumstances right now, ma'am, it sounds like you would definitely qualify for a PPIA if you want to throw, $50 a month, whatever, towards your debt, which is not a lot against $80,000 of tax debt. You would probably definitely qualify for CNC. The IRS may revisit that once you get, if you go back to the workforce to get a decent job. If you were our client, I'd say maybe you should just go get a job right now, just whatever you can get, and we could go for an offer. Right? No guarantee, but go for an offer, see if the offer examiner goes for it. So, the stuff, it's not always an exact science. You kind of got to feel it. And, that's why we have so many professionals here at Choice Tax Relief who know how to view these situations. What are maybe some changes you need to make in terms of, the job or your personal finances and spending in order to get you show you in the best possible light with the IRS, okay? Which is really the worst possible light, right? But when folks are unemployed, there's a whole section in the Internal Revenue Manual where the IRS employee is instructed to determine, well, what's the likelihood that they're going to return, to work in their near future at the same level of income they were before? Is that likely or unlikely? How close are they to retirement, right? Just because you're not making any money now and you're unemployed doesn't mean that, the IRS is just going to, accept your offer right now, right? I think I made a video about this, or maybe it's kind of hidden in my video about offer and compromise tips, because a lot of people have this notion that, well, I lost my job, now's a great time to do an offer and compromise, right? IRS is smarter than that, right? Let's say you're a software engineer at one of these FANG companies, right, making a lot of money, and then you get laid off, right? And like, well, I'm not making any money now. Guess the IRS is going to, accept an offer and compromise. Probably not. The offer examiner is probably going to say, well, it's likely that you'll be able to return to making what you used to make or close to it. in the near future, or at least before the tax debt drops off. Okay, so this is how an offer examiner would look at a case like this. It's a great question. I know you're asking about the PPIA, not the OIC. In your case, I think we would strategize something to maybe put together an offer and compromise, especially since you owe $80,000, right? $80,000, that's a lot of money. I would suggest you call us for a free consultation. 866-8000-TAX. That's 866-8000-829. Or you can go to choicetaxrelief.com, fill out the form on the website, and we will reach out to you. Hey, I'm going to dig up that video where I talk about, you probably shouldn't do an offer and compromise while you're unemployed, unless you're retired, of course. Link to that video, upper left-hand corner of the screen. Thank you so much for the questions. Keep them coming. I love answering them, folks. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.